Welcome to Olympian Cares, giving you the best in water testing and analysis. Today we're looking at Drinking Water Toolkit, and we want to analyze what are PFAS. And these are also known as forever chemicals. And these can also be in big cities such as New York, Manhattan, Queens, or they can also be in rural areas. And it's something you need to know about. Why? What are PFAS? It's a broad category of organic chemicals, and they've been used for an assortment of industrial and consumer products since the 1950s, and they are quite dangerous. The active agents in these organic compounds, such as surfactant or surface protector, such as Teflon or Scotchgard, PFAS are essential ingredient in making fluoroprotein foams and alcohol-resistant aqueous firefighting foams. Now, they are useful for that, but the water gets quite polluted with them. Technical name for these compounds are per- and polyfluorinated chemicals, or PFCs. So you might hear PFAs, PFCs. It is the same thing, but more specifically per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAs. And these emerging contaminants are persistent, bioaccumulative, and toxic to mammalian species. And they stay in water for quite a long time. That's why they do call them forever chemicals. And experts have become increasingly concerned by the potential effects of high concentrations of PFAs on the human health system. So how can you become exposed? Under the EPA PFA Stewardship Program, 8 primary industrial users of PFAs committed to eliminating PFA from emissions and product content by 2015. And the production and import of PFA has been phased out of the U.S. market. But the problem is the PFOA-based products can still reside in some inventories. So just because those products have been phased out, there could still be remnants of this chemical. And PFOS is no longer used by U.S. manufacturers, but exists in the environment through fluorochemical containing consumer products. So they're still in our products. Keep that in mind. Just because of phasing out doesn't mean we're in the clear. And they've also been used for firefighting foams and water repellents since the 1950s. Now, consumers may be exposed to PFAS from commercial products such as microwave popcorn, nonstick cookware, stain repellent treatments, and paints and sealants. And unfortunately, there's limited information about which of these products have PFAS and how much can accumulate in our bodies. It can also be from the water as well, as we can see here. Now, there's known PFA sites, and it's something you want to know about. Now, you can also get it from groundwater. You can get it from wastewater through soil, crop, and human. You can also get it through wastewater. That can go to the soil, then the human. You can get through wastewater, it can get in the soil, the fodder, then it can even get into animals in the human, or just through the soil without the fodder, and it can get through the groundwater to the soil to the human. So as you can see, it can contaminate groundwater and wastewater. This is why it's important to know what PFAs are, where they come from, and how to properly deal with them, especially if you're in big cities like Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, or even if you're in rural areas. It's helpful to know what PFAs are, where they come from, and why they could potentially cause a lot of problems. That's why it's important that you always get your water periodically tested for these organic chemicals.